And let's see if I didn't just fly myself off the edge.
I'd be happy with that.
Because I went 5 forward.
No, you're
Okay.
good.
Oh,
You're good.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Certainly not even close, Frankie. You're not flying off the board edge, dude. Yeah, the refrigerator with the jam. I know the refrigerator has a focus coordinate reinforced target lock linked jam, all white. Start the time on them there. Time has started. All right, so we've got Empire versus Rebels, a classic matchup last round. We had a not so conventional Scum versus Resistance. This time, it's Empire versus the Rebellion. And on the left side, we have Matt, one of our new locals who just started playing again. He played some 1.0 and then quit for a bit, played a little 2.0, and then he's back. He's got he's got Starter Set Vader. That's right, the best Vader in my opinion, with Afterburners, Ion Missiles, and Hate. Standardized at 6 points, the shield upgrade built in. Tomax Bren with the Sat Salvo Barrage and Bomblet Generator combo, the Wombo combo. Jonas with the rerolls for friendlies and himself. 0 to 1 for those Barrage Rockets with Sat Salvo, Barrage Rockets, Bomblet. And we've got Major Reimer for Reimer Reason. He's here, and he's here to fire some Barrage Rockets with Sat Salvo and Seismic Charges. And then we've got Vizier in the Reaper. Is it flashing now? I'm looking at the overlay for a second, so I didn't catch it. The darn refrigerator with that white jam action. Rounding out the list, we got Vizier with Death Troopers and shield upgrade. Interesting. No Palp, but Death Troopers, okay. Death Troopers, as we know in this meta, pretty freaking good if you ask me, and you should be asking me. Harris and Dula here leading off the side for the Rebels at I6 in the B-Wing with Crackshot. That's crazy, dude. I can't believe that, dude. Oh my god, I was stressing out. Oh my god. You're welcome to do commentary with me. Are you sure? Okay, we just need to get another chair. You don't even have to know what's going on, dude. I mean, okay. With heavy laser cannon, plasma torpedoes, and those foils. And we've got Battle of Yavin Luke with instinctive aim, attack speed, proton torpedoes, hopeful, and R2D2. It never puts hopeful in the overlay for some reason. Garvin's Ray standardized with the R5K6 regen droid and advanced proton torpedoes with the same ability. Dutch Vanderlinde has a goddamn plan. We're going to Tahiti. For you Red Dead 2 fans out there, maybe it's just me. Dorsal turret, cluster missiles, R3 astromech, seismic charges, and then Sabine Wren, our objective player, has not Lone Wolf, but Beskar, reinforced plating. Frankie, also a local, so we've got some, I mean, it is in Chicago, right? So we're probably going to see some local matchups. But we got both sides kind of keeping their little formations going straight at opposite corners right now. A little bit of a weird spot for Vizier, really close to that debris. Gonna probably have to go 2 straight to make sure we don't hit it. Guys, I mean, first of all, I just wanted to say I am sorry about all of the issues. I know it's not my fault, but I am responsible for making sure the stream runs smoothly, and it was just, man, that was stressful. So I am sorry. I do apologize for the first round, for all of the issues that we had. It really ruins the experience for you guys at home, and it makes me sad. So we do have 3 more rounds of X-Wing. So the World's Invite will be handed out to the winner. Boom. So we'll do a giveaway after this round as well. Just to thank you all. Speaking of giveaways, I haven't had a chance to talk about it because of all the issues. Not sure, if we'll hit these goals, but I just wanted to let you all know that if we hit 10 more subs, we'll give away another set of the Crossroads swag. Sneak in behind me. If there's room. Oh. There you go. Just enough. And now I'm frozen. That's fine. We do this. We do this. I think you jinxed. I'm just kidding. You've cursed it. You've cursed us. No. No, you're good. We just lost. Oh, one of the cam links just like disappeared for a second. It was back. That's fine. We'll go. We'll show you guys the table while I get Marco set up here. Okay. So, is this? Just like a podcast, you talk just like mouth straight into it. That. And then I do want to move OBS over here.
Yeah, I will clarify though. I am Hispanic. I do not podcast.
Is that like a thing with
white guys with podcasts? Yeah.
Huh. Huh. Okay. Did I open up bidding for you guys? I probably didn't. Here, we could do that now. Betting is now open. And let's just check to see if the commentary camera came back to life. Not yet. Not today, Satan. Let's see why that is. Marco, tell us about Spellbound. Well, I'm gonna have you stall with talking about something that is actually important.
Yeah, I mean, Spellbound Games is kind of my passion project of the thing that I now do for a living. We're located in Chicago, Illinois, on Milwaukee Avenue near the Division Blue Line stop. Primarily, we do a lot of card games, so Magic, Flesh and Blood, Lorcana is the new hotness, and then of course X-Wing on Mondays.
X-Wing on Mondays. If you guys are in the city, you better come and play X-Wing at Spellbound. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. So if I go switch over, I probably have to adjust the camera because I had it set up to be more oriented towards me. But I can turn this back on, and there we are. Only thing is I'm going to need to square this up a little bit so that we're both more in focus. Then something like that. I don't know. That's not too bad. There we are. We're here. So yeah, this is a nice storefront. You've built it out a lot since I first started going here when you first opened. Yeah. Obviously, when you first open, it's not everything's going to be set up. What is it? I think a lot of people would be curious because we're streaming in front of people who play at their friendly local game store all the time, every week. What is it like as somebody who also plays, jumping into this business? What do you think is the coolest part about it, and what do you think is what's something that maybe a lot of people don't know about or don't realize about running a game store?
Well, I feel like if you're gonna open a game store, number one thing you gotta remember is that it is kind of just for the community. It's you gotta really love it, because you're not gonna make a ton of money when opening a game store. Before this, I was an engineer, and I'll guarantee you that I would make significantly more as an engineer, but it's a lot less fulfilling.
Yeah.
Things people don't realize: when you do open a game store, you play a lot less games. And sometimes, you're just looking at the stuff so much, you're just sick of looking at it. And when you have the opportunity to play, you just would rather not.
Do you feel like is there a lot of pressure? Obviously, you have to deal with customers who come in and want to buy, any sort of game. Is there a lot of pressure to really get to know every single product, every different game that you have on your shelves so that you can really sell it to people? Or how do you approach that?
I will say it's yes and no. I can explain probably about 90% of the games on my shelves. I have played maybe 75% of them.
That's a lot more than I would. I mean, I'm terrible with stuff like that. Then again, a lot of gamers only have a couple games they really play, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've played it once type of thing, not I've played it 100 times. There are some games that are in such high demand that I will probably never play, because if I put them on the shelves, they'll sell out, and then I won't have the chance. Some of them I do try to go out of my way to put into the demo library, so I have the opportunity to play, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, any game you see on these shelves, I have at some point made the conscious decision to put it on there. So I do try to be familiar with every game in the store to an extent.
Okay. How long has Spellbound been open now?
A year and 2 months. So, you know, it doesn't seem like that long of a time, but it has just been so much work. But it has been very satisfying at the same time, you know, building the community, getting to know everyone around here, seeing, you know, growth month after month, and getting to do cool events like this where I can, you know, offer the opportunity for someone, you know, playing this, you know, to be fair, niche game and give them a chance to go to the Worlds.
What? Niche? What? Hundreds of thousands of people play the game of X-Wing. Yeah, no, I mean, yesterday I was struck by I mean, I know it was a Saturday evening, but it was popping. Like every table was full, everyone was playing their different games. Like I think it was mostly Magic, but I saw a couple people doing something else, and
it was actually mostly just board games.
Yeah, that's great. It's
like,
nice to see.
Yeah, it's like this store is mostly Magic. Most of my events and tournaments are Magic, but there's some cool meetups that happen. So like once a month, there's the heavy board game meetup, and that's kind of organized by Wolfram, who's a community local on his own, and he'll get 16 people to just say, pick the densest game you guys want to play. I'll give him space for 3 hours or so, and then after done with those, I have my normal board game night, and that's more casual, faster games, not as dense, more party games sometimes. And for that, you know, I think some of the people stayed through, some people came in just for those, and that was another like 10 people. Then I also had a different sword champ. That was my Magic sword champ, and I had 10 people for that as well.
Yeah. That's cool that you have like a diverse, I mean, like that you have, it's not just one game. I know that obviously Magic is, and fairly so, the kind of the money maker, the consistency that a game store needs, because other games don't have the same level of turnaround and turnover with releases. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask poorly over here. Give Sabine a color. So there are some stores, obviously, since COVID. I certainly wouldn't fault. I think our dice cam is. Before I continue my thought, let me just make sure I have our dice cam set up. That's us. I wish I could rename them, but it doesn't seem to let me do that. There we go. Okay. We'll listen to the players really quick.
I'm gonna check range for Tomax.
The mic'd up players
Just
thing
outside.
really helps.
Yeah.
When I either am too
Force.
lazy or tired or just confused what's going on.
Major Rhymer.
And I love seeing Matt getting back into the game because, you know, he was an old, long time
Let's do
X-Wing player,
into-
but then he came into the store
let's do
originally
Garvin.
for Commander,
So
playing Magic
that
the Gathering.
is,
He
I
was
will use
like,
Proton
hey,
Rockets.
Yeah.
I see on Mondays you guys are playing some X-Wing.
I know Matt was at Good Games the other day too, because we play that on Thursdays usually. X-Wing
Captain
Good Games.
Jonas lets me re-roll 2 of those.
So Jonas already giving him the passive
take it.
mods.
God damn it.
Hit crit. As
hits
Frankie's
and a crit.
upset about that.
Get wrecked, Frankie.
I'm gonna spend that focus.
Okay.
So it's all gonna take
Hit crit.
2 shields.
I believe that is on to Garvin.
2 shields and 1 damage.
Okay, so what I was going to say was some game stores right now are charging for table space, like to play, which again, I don't really have I had a more of an anti, you know, I was opposed to that before COVID. Now I understand how some stores feel like they need to do that. What are your thoughts on that? What's the value of having people come in and be able to play, you know, quote unquote for free?
I think this is a pretty contentious argument, and it's this attitude that a lot of players will have where it's like table space should either be free, or in terms of like Magic events or some tournaments, people think that like, oh, stores should make no money on events because people are theoretically buying stuff with the event going on, and I think that's kind of a bad business plan. At the end of the day, like hopes and dreams, and like you cannot pay your rent in goodwill.
Right.
I am lucky that, you know, because I am the store, and when people come in and I'm like, oh yeah, it's free, but I appreciate if you buy anything, like they get that, like, oh, that's directly going back into the store, and the number one way you can support your game store is to buy stuff from them. There are some stores that I know do charge for table space, for play space. If you go to a Commander event and they charge you $5, but you get like a drink and a snack, the store is still only making like a few dollars off of that, you know.
Right.
But it helps make it so that like one, people are now paying for the space, so they tend to feel like they respect it more sometimes. Ultimately, I would consider charging people for table space if I could, but I can't because of Chicago permits. So part of it is goodness out of my heart. Part of it is I legally can't. So
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
once you start charging for table space, you become a public place of amusement, and there are parking requirements, ADA requirements,
Gotcha.
number of bathrooms requirement.
Okay.
And so while you can do that in a store like this in the suburbs in Chicago, there are other more stringent requirements that I would not be able to meet. But at the same time, I don't know. The community here is very good about trying to support me as a store, and buying their singles, buying their X-Wing miniature sets, buying the new set that whenever it comes out. When Battle Yavin came out, a bunch of people saw like, oh, new places up. Let's all pre-order here, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, that's and I believe most people thankfully do the right thing and they don't order from like those things from Amazon, because at most it's like a couple dollar difference. It's just like, no, it just feels like right going to your game store where you are already going to play the game of X-Wing, grabbing that pack and just like opening it up right as you're about to play and using it and playing with it, instead of going online and ordering from even like Miniature Market, which I feel like is the offhand like Amazon of board game stores.
They're declaring bankruptcy right now, aren't they?
I do not know about that.
It's either Miniature Market or it's Cool Stuff. One of the two
Okay.
is in terrible financial straits. And they wrote an article talking about how Amazon really pushed them out of the space.
Huh.
But,
I don't think it's Mini Mart though.
yeah, it might be Cool Stuff. Because Miniature Market, I think, does less board games and Cool Stuff does more. But one of the two, the owners wrote this article talking about how Amazon's really pushing them out of the space and they've been undercut and it's really hurting their business. But, every store owner had a dry eye because nobody cares. It's like they were the people who started that trend in the industry, and then Amazon just kind of kept it going, exacerbated it.
Yeah.
So it is pretty nice to see, though, that nowadays people understand that you do have to support your local businesses if you want them to stick around. When I buy coffee, like, I don't go out and buy Starbucks. I go out and, I might go to Printers Row. I might go to Big Shoulders, where it's more local, even if it's a chain sometimes. If I'm supporting a local chain, I think that's good because I like to, rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah.
So help the people around you, and even other stores in the area. Like, when I don't have something and they do, I always try to refer to another local game store. At the end of the day, like, when I was looking to get started, I went to all those stores to ask for advice. Like, I was talking to Eli up at Evanston Games and Cafe. I was talking to Bill over at Good Games. I was talking to Charlie and Rob.
I love Bill. Grandmaster.
Like, yeah, it's these people who have been part of the community for so long, and at the end of the day, we all realize that, when the community is healthy for everybody, that is the best thing possible.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And obviously a lot of games communities are being tested right now. They were tested during COVID. I don't know if you knew or heard about this, but like Tabletop Simulator saved the X-Wing community, especially during the pandemic, because like there was just obviously no way to play for so long, and a lot of people, if they weren't able to play at all, would have stopped playing, period. And Tabletop Simulator and a lot of awesome groups of people put together events and kept the game going and ended up informing FF Fantasy Flight Games on the meta still. They were able to make some changes based on what people were playing online. Obviously, they would never confirm that that's what they were looking at because it's not official, but the game of X-Wing has not only gone through so many changes, and it's certainly been a polarizing effect, but then just there's a lot going against a smaller game like this, especially when you have new games come out. A lot of my friends, they're moving into like family territory where they're having families, and then that cuts down on game time and moving and all these things that life throws at us. And I'm proud of myself for not only sticking with X-Wing and continuing to play, but also pushing the content creation side of it, because we've lost some people who had been doing that for so long. I'm trying to fill the gaps, and yeah, it's definitely, there's a lot of things kind of, and a lot of motivation that you need, a lot of things going against this. So yeah, I mean, that's a very long-winded way of me saying I appreciate all the game stores here in Chicago and in those suburbs, and not only how welcoming they are, but just the fact that they allow for an opportunity to kind of foster and rebuild a community or add to one that has taken a pretty big hit.
Yeah, I will say,
nice.
For a lot of X-Wing stuff here, the reason I even run it was thanks to Tim and Ted. Tim was lurking around here when we were still setting up before we even opened, and the week before the soft opening, he sent me an email and he was like, "Hey, can we run X-Wing here? Like, we have a kind of small community. We play good games. We used to play at Dojo, but Dojo's kind of far." But he's one of the first that engaged. He's one of the first people that really tried to help build the Spellbound Games community, and yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah. Just add a request to boost your audio. I think I was able to do that. If Marco's a little louder for you guys, let me know. Just looking at the meter, sometimes it's a little harder to tell.
Yeah, I'm also like not leaning in as much as I should, probably.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, these microphones are awesome, but they are very, very, very directional. Like, you'd be like right here, and it's completely different.
Oh,
if
yeah.
You're right. Yeah. So we have some movement here. The Clash of the Titans in the middle of the board right now. We saw a sloop from Vizier. Now we've got Luke moving. I assume he's doing a hard turn in as well. Garvin trying to set up an advanced proton torpedo. And Luke, did he get bumped? Did he block himself? Garvin, no, thank God. That would be pretty bad.
I remember one of my favorite things hearing about when it came to Tabletop Simulator and people playing X-Wing was that they weren't used to perfectly square mats where it's like, everything's the perfect dimension and size.
Oh, yeah.
And then you return to in person.
You're like bumping stuff around. Dude, the imperfections in the human element is what what made me kind of... I played Tabletop Simulator a lot like everybody else, and I continued playing it even when in-store gaming, in-person gaming came back. But it's too precise for a game that is meant for imperfections in the imprecision of setting something up at 1 degree off from what you think it is. Like, it all matters so much. In tabletop, you certainly aren't afforded that.
Yeah, you also get like these just random references.
Vader just flies
your screen.
Yeah, Vader just flew directly into Vizier and onto debris as well. I'm really surprised by that. Wow. He sure did, and he's taking a damage as well. So starter set Vader stressed onto debris and ran into his buddy. He's gonna have to roll for, and he takes 2 damage. Had to roll for the debris and for hitting his friend. Is rough. That is 2 shields done. It's free damage for Frankie. And Harris and Dula yet to move. Now going to. Cool. Looks like your audio is it's sounding good now. And you're welcome to like come in and out if you need to walk away, whatever. Obviously, it's your story. You would do that anyways, but don't feel like you need to. You're trapped. I'll just scoot in when you need to head out.
No, it should be good for now.
It's just so crazy that it was the goddamn refrigerator, dude. Wow. That is a little bit of a relief, to be honest. It's something we can laugh about, but I'm like, I thought I was going to have to do an extensive testing process to determine what was wrong.
Tried to warn you.
Yeah, you did mention it. You mentioned it, and then like we kind of just were like looking at other things, and then we're like, oh, I'll turn the fridge off and see that. It's like, yep, those are different stages of troubleshooting, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's also like for me, I'm incentivized to do the one that affects my business the least.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you just saw me running back and forth. I ran back and forth about 25 times. It's just suffering so much that eventually was like, all right, I'll turn off the fridge for a few minutes. We can always turn. I don't know how long it takes to kick back up, but I was gonna say if we did have a break, we would be able to turn it back on. But since we opted to not have a break, which I'm gonna be so hungry.
Well, there's nothing stopping you from eating.
Well, I have to get food though.
Oh,
That's what's stopping is the fact that I have to leave to do that.
I mean, there's some good places, next door. Kin Another local business, you know, love their food,
Able to
eat
use
their
the
way
laser
too much.
cannon, so it's
Okay.
be for 4.
So this is a shot into. Looks like Reimer.
I do not have.
All right.
The HLC
Focus.
shot
Okay.
returns a dud.
All right.
No focus.
Tomax.
I think Reimer took damage
Do I
there.
have in range? So she is just outside, but Garvin, I'm gonna do barrage rockets at Garvin.
So Tomax Bren gonna fire his barrage rockets now. And can Jonas re-roll the blank? Gets another ball. That's the worst feeling, dude. You're rolling a blank into a blank. No matter what game you play, it's just like, come on, man. A little bit of glare. Looks like an eyeball result.
Yeah. One evade, one eyeball.
Okay.
Saturation
Take 2 hits.
salvo. Taking 2 hits. Garvin, I believe that's into the hole now.
I believe it is loop shot.
Okay. I want to take out Reimer. Is Reimer in range 1 or 2?
Looks like 2. From Luke?
Yeah.
Oh, at least 2.
If it's,
What I'm gonna go
It's gonna
check
go-
on is the time for the
he's
rest
gonna
of
shoot
the
3
tournament.
into
got it.
Reimer.
I'll be
Okay.
right back.
I think
That's range 3. Does Luke have a secondary?
he does. I can use.
Marco will be back.
Okay.
He's gonna proton torpedo, but
Okay.
I need to make sure if he's range 2. Yeah, he's range 2 to Reimer,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
so it's gonna be 4.
So he's gonna. Does he
Is
have
he
a target?
spinning the
He's spending a force
force
Yeah,
charge? Gotcha.
instinctive
charge.
aim. So he could have kept Harris locked for this double modded torp. I mean, he still gets 3. It could have been 4.
I'm gonna spend. Oh, I don't have a spell to spend, so
You do have a focus token.
yeah, no, but you're gonna attack me.
It's all right, Frankie. Remember, Luke gets his force back when he
Okay.
defends. There you go. Hit, crit.
Maybe a crit and 2 hits.
In to Reimer, who's gonna have to spend the focus.
Goodness.
No, he's not.
I have no choice. Into
You have the focus if you want to use it.
It's be pretty bold to take all that damage.
Okay, so remind me, they're
No,
doing chance right now, right?
Yeah.
What
So
is
there's
the-
half points in this
two.
one.
What is the objective?
3. That
of
is a
chance?
fuel leak.
It's basically fuel leak into Reimer. So chance is like the OG dogfighting like of 2.0, except you just have to have a ship at 0 to 2 of the center point, and each player gets a point, assuming that they do that. If only one player has a ship at 0 to 2, then they get 2 points. Their opponent gets nothing.
All right, so it's dogfighting with King of the Hill.
Yes, but but you can't contest a point. Both players would get a point if it would be contested. Yeah. Reimer's down to 3 right
Hey,
now.
did you force him? Oh yeah.
No. 5 wins. Yeah, 4s now.
And there's
let's
also, this
go.
is the only objective with half points as well. Rounded down, which it used to be rounded up. Now it's rounded down. So we're checking with Jonas first, the Jonas brother.
Jonas, let me re-roll that.
Matt's really good at rolling at the very bottom of the
goodness.
box.
One
It's like
crit.
just a little bit cropped out.
Still got the crit.
Okay.
But I have a shield.
So Hera takes a shield.
And then Jonas is going to barrage rockets.
That
into
was
Harrison
Reimer.
Dula.
So it is Jonas now.
Not right.
Ooh, goodness. His.
You're rolling the blanks.
I
Jeez.
will spin the focus. 2 hits.
Only 2. You really think you should expect 3 with
Oh,
Jonas's
I will
ability.
saturation. Well, no. Can I make you only re-roll 1
Yeah.
die?
I'll just re-roll it.
Okay. Yeah. Saturation salvo.
Still an evade.
Nice.
Okay. Well, what? I'll take
Seems
it.
good. Hera takes another shield.
Okay.
Okay, my 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
this
is
advanced
Reimer at?
proton torpedo.
Reimer is at 3 hull left.
Yeah.
Is that 3 hull left?
With a fuel leak. So this advanced proton torpedo, 5 dice, change a hit to a crit. Fuel leak, if you suffer a
Which
crit, you
is
suffer
worth-
damage. So probably dead here, unless you have an absolute catastrophic
3.
failure of your dice,
He's just gonna attack.
including re-rolling.
Range
Blank, blank,
1.
blank.
So that's gonna be
Reroll, blank,
4.
blank, blank.
Into Reimer?
Fry.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 dice is like blank, 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 blank. I've been there. It's bad. That's rolling. That's pretty freaking good so far.
Lock. You want to spend it?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend that.
I don't see the 5th die.
Doesn't need it.
Is he not rolling a advanced proton torpedo?
Takes 2.
2 hits. And
Why did he not fire advanced proton torpedo?
he has 1
I've
hull
definitely
left.
seen games
Still
where
has
people
that fuel
forget
leak.
what their upgrades
Yeah,
equipment
that's
are,
right.
and it's just
A
like
special weapon like that is
So after he
crazy.
suffers a crit, then he'll suffer 1 regular damage.
It doesn't matter, actually. Yeah. Oh, now it doesn't.
Well, now it doesn't.
Okay,
Wow. Okay.
so
Dutch.
Dutch is gonna
Unless I
actually
missed him
shoot
fired
at
earlier, but
Vizier.
Vizier.
Don't think so.
With range 2. Oh, and cluster missiles.
Okay.
So, do you know if Frankie plays the Rebels a lot, or
now, he'd been playing Empire a lot. Now he's switched over to Rebels. He'd always had those two as the main 2 that he plays, but it had been Empire for quite some time.
yeah, 'cause
That's pretty good from Dutch.
It does happen sometimes where you fall out of practice on these lists that you're just not used to anymore, and then you go back to them. You do kind of forget what some things do occasionally.
Yeah, sometimes you have to have like a learning moment where you get punished so hard for forgetting it that you'll never forget it again. And like those are the things that kick you into shape, you know? All right, so that was 3 into Vizier. Now Vizier checking, I think.
Range.
Yeah. But she
Okay.
does have a shot on Vizier.
Yeah, she's gonna shoot Vizier.
Sabine
range
is
3,
gonna
excuse
go
me.
first.
Range
yes.
3 to Vizier. Go for 2.
Vizier is an I2, that's why. Okay, so Sabine
Spend that.
spends the
Spends
focus for 2. And Vizier is taking 2 more. That's a lot of damage into the Reaper here this round. That's 5 damage. Need some Flex Seal tape, man. That's a lot of damage. So Frankie up 4-3 right now as half points are being counted in our overlay. I have to keep listening because they're not pointing to things. They're just kind of moving around. Sometimes the players point and I know, but when they're not doing that. This is a
Is hit
Vizier
crit.
shot, hit crit.
Fudge. Just takes a hit. Oh, it takes the crit.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is gonna. What crit is it?
Crit into Garvin?
It's a direct hit.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I think
Yeah,
that's
he's
going to
dead.
finish him off. Garvin will die as I get confirmation from the player verbally. So that is an extra 2 points for Matt. Thank you for showing us the card. 5-4 now. It'll be 6-5 once they count the center point objective. So not being able to kill Reimer was ends up being kind of a big deal. You feel like you're a step behind here for Frankie. So 6-5.
when you're just 1 proton torpedo away. You know?
So there something had to have happened there. Maybe he had lost the lock, or it was somebody else's lock because it was right there. He was at range 1, and all he needed was the lock at range 1 to fire a 5 dice attack with the crit to kill, and he rolled 4 dice at range 1, and I was like, he's doing a primary. So I'm curious. Maybe I can ask him about it later. So round 4 coming up here. Chance engagement. Round 2 of Swiss. Everything all right? I think so. Of the Spellbound official store champ again. Got the World's Invite here. I won mine here. So Spellbound's got a nice, despite the refrigerator jamming me left and right, it still has a nice place in my heart. So the winner of this event, it'll be just a best of 4 round Swiss, will walk away with the World's Invite.
Perfect 16, perfect Swiss. You know,
Yeah.
4 rounds, easy, 1 winner.
I don't know if you've heard about all the kind of quote unquote controversy behind the 16 player minimum that's required for the World's Invite, but it's become more difficult to get people to show up, like to hit 16. It's been a lot of places are like 13, 14, 15 people. In this situation, I think it can be kind of stressful a little because like the most you can fit is 16, and then the minimum is 16, but you have, because of the size, you haven't had a problem like selling out. It's really just like the last minute drops that can make things pretty difficult.
Oh, yeah.
But we were able to avoid that, so thankfully. But it gets a little stressful sometimes, especially for the TO side of things.
Yeah, that's why we got people, basically on call, ready to fill those spots.
It's like, hey, time for you to play, like the bat signal.
Yeah. Yo, Tim, get your stuff.
once again, everybody, just want to remind you that we are sponsored by Strata Strike on Etsy. Use coupon code 312 Squadron with the capital S, one word, to get 15% off any gaming component on Etsy. Do you use Etsy for your games at all, like for cool like alt components or anything?
I have for my personal stuff. I don't really carry a lot of that in here.
Yeah.
But you know, I had a Gloomhaven campaign going at one point. Definitely got like some custom inserts. There's some board games I really like whenever you get a lot of expansions. You can get some really cool, just like all-in-one boxes that just hold everything, and I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's great, man. Etsy, there's some awesome like game component creators on Etsy. Curled Paw Creatives, Strata Strike, Highbridge Design, and so many more.
Do they do any direct to consumer stuff, or do they only do Etsy? Because I know Etsy can like sometimes
fees.
hurt. Yeah, the fees, the fact that you have to give free shipping sometimes,
Yeah.
and then you have to like adjust prices for it. And a lot of those people then go off and try to make their own websites, and that's why sometimes a box comes in and it's like, hey, buy direct from us next time.
Some people I know do have like I think a website as well. I do think there might be some complicated terms of service related stuff though when you are at certain maybe hit a certain level or a certain volume on Etsy with them like non-compete related things. I can't speak to that because I'm not somebody who sells things on Etsy, but if some of you guys might know more about that. I do know that if you use !sponsor in the chat, you type that and click the link. If you are looking to buy anything from Strata Strike, that does save him in fees using that direct link. If you do buy through it, I would recommend doing that.
Oh yeah, 'cause that was one of the things I remember hearing as well, that if you search for something on Etsy and then it's an Etsy sponsored like promotion, they will hit the creator with a bigger fee, even if that's the exact thing that you were searching.
Yeah, that's
So
lame. But we live in this world, right, where you do all the work and you still get punished for it. That's why we're starting a Patreon next year, because we have a lot of great supporters for this stream and a lot of people willing to help fund our ventures and back us. But when Amazon takes 50% of it, I do feel like maybe some of that is falling on deaf ears and not going to where it should be. So 50% is massive. Like, I get it, we're streaming on their platform, but that's the only service they provide.
yeah,
I do literally all the work. So, but when you can, why not? When you can get 50% of everybody's income, why not take it?
Jeff just needs one more yacht, then he'll be satisfied with life.
He only has one super yacht. I think we're trying to get 2 here. A 3 bank there to plug up a lane for Reimer, who is on 1 hole right now. Yeah, should he use that ATP? I agree. What is it? Advanced Torpedo Proton. An ATP. Automated. That's what ATP is. Automated Target Priority. You got to get that right. That's the actually acronym for ATP.
You got to get all that points.
Yeah, we haven't had a single.
Angry.
If you've noticed, if you ever see the screen like flash black for a second, that's just because it's in projector mode. It has nothing to do with the signal. Like, the stream doesn't actually see that. It's just us because we're in full screen projector. So, but yeah, we haven't had any interference from the fridge.
Yeah, I will have to turn it back on at some point because,
Yeah.
again, I have some cold brew. Another local company, Kyoto Black, up in Rogers Park. That does have to be refrigerated.
Maybe when we do that, we raise the cables up and over.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea because the compressor's at the bottom. So as long as we're avoiding that, we should be good to go.
Cool. And yeah, we'll do that in between rounds, maybe.
Because they have another
They got-
23 minutes.
Yeah, our guys have 34 but they might finish. Well, chance engagement tends to go to time just because you only score 1 point each round.
Unless you start just killing everything.
Unless somebody doesn't have anybody in the center point, then the game snowballs a lot faster. All right, here goes Luke. So when you play, you said you mentioned you've played this game a couple of times. What do you like to play? Like, what faction? Is there a...
I've definitely never played a full game. It's more like Tim, Ted, some others show up on a Monday night. They're like, hey, we got you know, a drink with your name on it. You want to play some Aces High? And I'm like, well.
Are you terrible, or are you, because you have no idea what's going on, or?
Well, the thing, when it's Aces High, it's like not too bad because it's just like, all right, I have one ship to pay attention to. I at least can route my own stuff. I'm spatially aware enough to know like generally if I'll make a bank or not. And you know, because I'm the most casual player, I'm not seen as a threat, which is why, you know, I can do pretty okay.
A little sneaky, yeah. Yeah, they underestimate you. Maybe next time you'll estimate me.
I think my my biggest strength if I played a lot of X-Wing, I tend to get pretty lucky.
Yeah, X-Wing is more and more become a game of luck. But is it Obi-Wan, or is like, my experience, there's no such thing as luck? Well, there's definitely luck, Obi-Wan, especially in this freaking game. And we're probably getting a block here, maybe? Yeah, looks like it. Running into Captain Jonas. Better just do it from the side.
All according to Keikaku.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen. Looks like Sabine's gonna have a chance to kill Reimer though. Range 1 there. That's good for Sabine. Frankie needs those points. Reimer would give him 2 more points.
Yeah, I think at this point, if he doesn't kill Reimer, I think it's pretty hard for Matt to lose the game.
Yeah, I agree. And you do have the Reaper there that is taking at least 1 shot from Hera, but this is Vader's shot, a haymaker into Dutch Vander.
Oh yeah.
He's very lucky he didn't get even more punished being on that debris. I would have shot at. I would have fired everything I had at him to get him off the board, because Vader is such a threatening part of this game, and it all goes through. Let's listen in for the crit.
2 hits. Wait, how many?
3 hits, 1 crit.
So a hit and a crit. Hits.
Crit is...
Oh, I get a disabled power regulator.
Oh, that's not a great one for a bomber. Disabled power regulator. Let's play the animation. Boom.
There's the ion.
Before you engage, gain 1 ion token at I4. He will engage and gain 1. So Hera gonna be next. As Matt is first player, so Vader to get to fire first at I6. Now we move over to Hera on Frankie's side. He's debating. Yeah, there's only one choice. I think it might be range 1 though. They're not checking. Is it obvious it's range 1, or is it obvious it's not? It is obvious. Wow. Okay.
Oh,
just
that's him.
natural 4 for Hera.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gone.
He's dead.
And that is going to take
more
Vizier
points
off
is
the
that?
board.
Oh, goodness. 2 more? 2 more.
So half was already scored. That is another 2 points. So Frankie
4 cards on him.
does get some points back, because Matt halved Dutch. It's still 8-7 right now.
Ooh, what? How much does
Yeah,
Vander
2
have
for
left?
Vander.
2 for Vander? Okay.
I don't know if you noticed this, Marco, but
Hera.
Y-Wings are generally kind of bad in the game right now. Like they're just kind of easy to kill. 1 agility, like not terrible dial. So like when you have a 4.1 out there, it's like, it just sucks, man. It's like 4 points when you can only build with 20. 20% of the game being in a Y-Wing is rough. As much as I love Dutch.
What is it? It's like A-Wings are pretty strong right now, or they're like super annoying to play against, one of the two.
Yeah, I mean, and anything with 3 agility, if you could spam it, like I have a list. The one that I won here with is 4 out of the 5 ships are 3 agility, which is insane. It's just really dodgy.
Hold on, you get
Not sure. That looks like maybe it rings
3 for that. Okay. For Hera.
Is it 3?
Yeah, because I'm at half.
Okay. 2.
Is that an illusion?
Okay.
Unsure as to
fives?
who
Yes.
that was
Okay,
going into. Nobody's scoring 3 points though.
Luke
Luke's
is going to do. I want to do proton torpedoes. I think he's proton torpedoes into him. He's to do.
He's not
so,
taking target locks though. Like you want it with Luke, you have force. You take a lock so you can use a double mod, but he keeps taking focuses and then making himself spend the force to fire the torpedo, which is just like odd. Because if he rolls a blank, it feels bad, and he's probably gonna roll a blank with 4 dice. Not a little Nakaruski of the camera. That's pretty good though.
Gotta hit the camera for good luck, you know.
That was a huge bump too. I actually surprised it didn't knock it out of alignment as bad as I thought it would.
Oh, but look at that. I think the bottom of the box now is in the camera frame.
Max
So they're just helping
is
you
at
out.
full health, so he can survive that. 2, 3. Direct hit.
Jeez. That all goes through.
So
to
that
Max.
is half of him. He has 1 hole left.
He's got 1 hole left. Yep.
So how many points is he worth?
All right. He's worth 3.
So 1 or 2 points. That's 2 points, right?
Sounds good to me.
2 points, not 1. Is it 2 or 1?
Round down.
Down.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay. Now my 4s.
Yeah, your 4s.
Check that range.
All right, moving on.
It's range 1. Or let's do that. Captain Jonas is going to barrage rockets through a rock.
Ooh, Dutch Vander about to take more heat.
Destruction, range 2.
Wowing.
Well, no range bonus because
Being-
that's rockets.
So
Being
that's still
extra
range 2.
dodgy, so 2 dice now for defense for the Y-Wing. That's pretty good. Spend the focus.
I will spin the focus.
3 hits.
3 hits.
Dutch taking at least
On
2
Dutch
more
Vander.
here. Well, actually, he could. If he rolls natties, he'll only take 1. Let's see what he gets. 2 greens. Dutch, show me what you got, buddy.
Ooh, I will saturation salvo that, please. Okay.
Interesting that he's making him re-roll both. He could just roll double evades now. Okay.
So it takes 1.
2.
You're not facing me, so fearless at least doesn't trigger.
All right. Dutch taking 2 more.
How many evades are on the green die?
Still,
Is it a 50% chance?
It's
Okay.
it is 3 evades, 2
Major
eyeballs,
Reimer.
3 blanks.
Range 1, so I
So you're
can't use
equally
any
as likely
ordnance,
to
but that's
blank
okay.
out as you are to roll evades.
Sabine?
We'll do a range 1 shot to Sabine. Yeah, it's the only one he has. I'll spin the focus. 2
All right,
hits.
willing to kill himself. So try to get some damage to Sabine. Sabine, ouch.
3 and 8 indeed.
Spend that.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
take
takes-
1 for
Taking
Sabine.
1. Poor Sabine.
Wait,
So yeah, sometimes 3 agility, yeah, you get 3 green dice, but the likelihood of you rolling blanks is higher too, right? The blank out is there.
yeah, just take 1. Okay.
Yeah, spending the focus. So the shots left, we have Dutch going into Vader. He's going with the dorsal turret. He is ionized, so he'll lose a target lock. We'll have to remind him of that in between rounds here. Once you gain an ion token, all of the locks you possess are broken. So if he shoots at Vader, we'll have to make sure he doesn't use a reroll. But I don't think he's doing. I think he's gonna shoot dorsal turret instead.
Well, if he just rolls high on the first roll, you don't need to re-roll, right?
Why did he just take his focus token? What? Did he just steal a focus token? I'm really confused about that. I'm like, why did you steal a focus token?
What is chat saying? Do they say anything?
Let's see. That well, this is a little behind. That's good stuff. I don't know. Either way, Reimer is dead.
Yeah, that was expected.
Maybe they had moved the focus out of the way when they were moving him, and he's like, "Oh, that's mine." I mean, obviously, it would just take somebody else's focus, but I was like really lost with that one. Like, what the hell's going on? So Sabine now looks like range 1 into Captain Jonas. I had spent that focus, so Jonas rolls the base. But Frankie does take the lead. And each player gets a point. We go back to dials, hitting in around 5. Gonna go to the player camera. I'll be right back. we had missed another couple of shields down on Hera, so that was half for Matt. So it is actually looks like 11 to 10.
Oh, that must be the shot where we were like, oh, well, we don't know where that one went.
Yeah, yeah, that makes more sense. That's why you rolled the 1 agility. Now I know. Now we know.
And the focus token, I'm sure they said they anteed it on that roll. No.
Yeah, I didn't even ask about that. I'm more so gonna when the game's over, gonna ask him about our what the hell he was doing with the advanced proton torpedo. But all right, guys. Once again, hello. We have those are our sub goals. 10 away from the full Crossroads card set, and then we have a set of felt backed, awesome. I'm drawing a blank today. Scenario objective markers, tokens is what we call them. A set of 5. So that's what we're dealing with today. Hello there, Josh. How's it going?
So, if you don't mind me asking, why don't you have chat up on the screen?
I can do that for you. So when I'm with somebody else, what I can do is I do a windowed projector, and then I can bring up the chat as well.
No, I mean like in the actual stream, if like someone wanted to look at the VODs and get to point themselves out and be like, "Look, Mom, it's me in chat."
Oh, they so when you go to the VOD, if you have the chat pulled up, it does a chat replay. So
yeah, but if you were put it on YouTube, you can do the thing where like they have it scrolling.
Oh,
in
gotcha.
real time.
The accessibility with the overlay, it would be too much text on text, and it would be obstructing the valuable information of like scores and health and ship
Hi,
information.
mothers out there.
People will complain about stuff like that. It's a very valid thing to complain about. It's like, oh my god, there's too much going on. I will say, like, I have it pulled up for when we do like the giveaway part. It's there. So I try to make use of it when it works, I guess. Giveaways to do the windowed projector bits. Stand by, guys. Windowed. Okay. All right, and then we go back to the game. So that way you can actually see what people are saying during the game if they say something. I know things are a little smaller though, but I'm sure it's still big enough. That's the only downside. And then I just tab out whenever I want to read the chat, just because the screen's just a little smaller for me. It feels when I try to make it all windowed.
Support your local Spellbound games. Hard agree there.
Hard agree.
Yeah, no bias at all.
Refrigerator man. You were like the Maytag repair guy. So Dutch is just gonna ion bank and bump into Vader. Not really too much of a choice.
I'll call it.
Yeah, Vader is gonna do some. If Vader can just K turn and kill Dutch with a range 1 shot. It's gonna be a tough. Just chucks this. There we go. Chuck the stress on him. So for Frankie needs to kill Tomax. He'll get 2 more points. He'll basically do an even trade Dutch for Tomax. And then from there, though, I don't really know who, Vader is 1 from half, so you could get 3 more points if you have Vader. You have to keep your B-Wing Hera away from him, though, because if you lose Hera, it's very easy to do, then that is null and void as well, those points you get. So Jonas doing a 3 hard there, peeling out. I think it's Sir David. Yeah, exactly. Go to Pixel Chat. I can make it so the chat doesn't disappear on us. Chat overlay. Here we go. Fade out messages off. You're a funny guy.
You'll live forever in the VOD. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, apparently, so you were asking about playing like copyright music earlier, and one of my buddies, Nickel City X-Wing, he was streaming at a brewery for an event. They gave him no time to set up. They gave him like 20 minutes set up, which is ridiculous.
Then they just played like top 40 in the background.
and so they were blasting like, you know, all of these songs very loud, and he had asked them to turn it off and they didn't, and he got all of his VODs taken down because Twitch like freaked out on him. Yeah. All of his VODs, like, at least they made him private for a while, which is just like really bizarre. It's like he has no history of copyright infringement or strikes, and so
I remember for the longest time, Twitch would just mute the VOD, and they would just pretend that, you know, copyright didn't exist, and no one broke the rules on Twitch for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was not. I mean, it was. You used to be able to like request music and stuff as a viewer. I think they've gone a little too far. It's a little ridiculous. It's like, if you're playing something in the background, it's obviously background music. It's like, really? It's.
The thing is, you look at like YouTube, where if any, you know, copyrighted music starts playing, it can demonetize the video. It can get, you know, either a split of the revenue. It could get the full revenue, and Twitch was actually the outlier where they were just like, oh, you know, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll mute the VOD, and no one can prove that we ever did this. Like, that was their whole strategy.
Yeah, now you can get DMCA takedowns. They've really kicked up the intensity of punishing you for that. But you're right. I mean, Twitch was more lax about it. You could even get away with, you wouldn't even have to deal with your VODs getting taken down for a while. I still find it really interesting with like TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff that you can just like, they encourage you to like use like
any sound.
That's why I don't get like, why can't I have something playing in the background for 10 seconds or like sample something for 5 seconds? Like if you're allowed, and I wonder how that works. Like, do they pay a flat like fee, a licensing fee?
So basically the way that stuff works is anything in the TikTok libraries is something that someone at some point has uploaded, and the idea is when there is copywritten material, it is the artist who has actually uploaded it, and there's like all these certain things that you theoretically agreed to. So TikTok basically says, well, we had no way of knowing that like it was not the artist who had uploaded it. Somewhere around like 2 to 3. Yeah.
Did you say he's grabbing a beer?
Yeah. Well, he's gonna come back, and it's not gonna be a beer. It's gonna be.
I didn't know that though.
Oversized.
I thought there was. Right. I thought it was one of those things where there was like some sort of like flat fee that was paid, that they were allowed to do that. But are you trying to redeem Shirley as well? I think you spelled Shirley wrong. There you go. Well, that's not Shirley.
All right, I'll be right back.
Cool.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley. Let's listen into the players.
Vader,
range 2.
Into
Let's see.
spell
Yeah, I'll spin the force,
For 2.
turn that into a crit, because I have him locked. And then I'll spin the lock to reroll that die. Okay. Hit crit. So crit.
just a crit.
Just a crit.
Damn it, direct hit.
Wow, he's lucky. I thought he spent a force to get that, to convert that eyeball, but I don't know what that was, because he did stop flip a force.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
How many?
Matt up 13 to 10
points
now.
left was on him.
2. That because you took 2 off earlier.
Okay. Oh, don't worry. It's about to even out. Tomax is sitting duck.
Okay. Then
Spent force in the first die.
Luke
Got it.
into Tomax.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be 4.
Range 1.
It's interesting he didn't
we can
spend
do
a
it.
lock on both them.
That's 5. I was holding
Didn't-
5.
didn't
I was
end up
like, wait a
mattering.
second. Yeah, that's good.
Tomax goes down. That's 2 more points.
Poor guy. 2 hits, 1 crit. That's Tomax.
13 to 12.
Wait. He still gets to shoot. Oh, wait. There's no one for him to shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 crit.
So how many points?
Points.
Yeah, unless you were
that'd be,
setting
2.
unless you were setting dials.
So he's worth 3. Yeah.
Well, yeah, our guys have.
Okay, and then
Sabine into Vader if you want.
Sabine into Vader for 2. I think that's range 3.
Thank you to Marco for being here, hanging out.
Range 2.
Okay.
Very cool to talk to him about owning a game store and the whole process. I can only imagine.
Oh, it doesn't.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, and then I get another point for the center.
It's going to be close.
Yeah, it's tied.
Frankie has the lead, actually.
Okay.
Ta-dum.
I got you on this.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's see. Players, camera. Let's see. So, destroy 10, scenario points 4. One sec, guys.
What's Vader at? Has he even
Vader has taken 2 shields, and from my own bad piloting, like no one's even hit him.
What's he at?
He has 3 hull and 1 shield left.
You're the only one within range 0 to 2 of the set, right?
Yeah, I give myself the point.
You give yourself 2. You give yourself 2 points when you're the only one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, 14, 13.
Okay, thank you. Alright, so Vader is down to how many hull?
He
Matt
has
does
3
have
hull and
one
1
left.
shield left, so he's not quite at half.
Okay.
14, 13. Frankie with the lead here heading into round 6 might be their last round. We will see. But that is how chance engagement gets you. They have their own time, guys. Josh, you know this. This is how we operate. Here comes Sabine. Sabine doing Sabine things on 2 hull. Watch out, Sabine. Try to get that. Try to get half. If you get half on Vader, you probably sealed the deal. Oh. And a 4K. Vader's probably going to need to do at least a 2 straight to be within range of the center point there. There's Luke just hanging out. Hopping over Hera. I wouldn't be surprised if they got one more round in. Just a few ships left. And there is Vader. Doing a bank. Frankie yet to move with Hera. Probably a bump. Picture for social. All right, let's listen in here.
Okay.
He's good. He's good now.
Okay. Just want to double check.
Yeah. Now Hera.
Hera is going to do 1 forward.
Yeah, I would have had to do. Do you want me to mark anything off?
Okay. 1 forward. They're not touching.
Okay.
Hera loses.
That's gonna be interesting.
And she is just gonna. She's gonna focus.
Okay.
Oh wait. That's gone.
Wow, that clears. Okay.
She is, yeah.
So she's got the first shot.
She gets the first shot into Darth with 4.
She has the
It's a
first shot, but Vader
primary.
moved first, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, I guess, now, but that was that out of order.
She's gonna use that
Does she have any bullseye reroll abilities?
for 2 hits, 2 crits and a hit.
She has crack shot. Oh no. Well, even
That
if
is
you rolled up some
unfortunate.
paint.
Yeah, totally.
So 1 shield and 2 crits. So Vader, that's 3 points you get because Vader's worth 6. I've got a
Direct will kill him.
weapons failure
So you get 1
and
left.
then a console fire.
Okay. Ooh, console could
Before
do
you
it.
engage, roll 1 attack die. Now I have 1 hull left. So that's 3 points to you.
Okay.
Frankie looks
I
like
get
he just
3,
sealed the game here.
And then you're gonna attack as Vader, so you have to roll the die.
So now I have to roll for the
Console fire for the game here.
console fire. On a hit, suffer 1 hit.
No. No.
Thank goodness.
Now Vader could kill Hera. Would get Matt to 16. Hera at 4 hull. Vader didn't have a lock though. It doesn't seem. Spending the focus, hitting 2 crits. Hera would like to roll and evade. Doesn't. Takes a hit and 2 crits.
Okay, so 1 hit, 2 crits.
Let's listen in on the
1
crits
hit.
here.
Hull breach. Damaged engine. So
And then she should now be at half hull, right?
Oh, you already got the points for me.
Already did? Okay.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay.
So Luke,
Luke is just gonna fire
range 3 shot.
range 3. Into...
Maybe Luke can get half on Jonas,
Jonas.
here. That would get you
Jonas.
2 points.
Yeah, no more.
Get to 19, you would win with the 20th point, the center point there. 3 hits, you could get half on Jonas. That's hit, crit. Very likely to get half here. Jonas taking half points.
Should be him. No?
It's in a crit.
Oh, well, so it's, what is it?
2 hits and
It's crit. 1
That will do it. Frankie will win this game.
is hull breach.
Okay.
And that is half of him.
So that's
He is. So you get 2 points for that.
He's worth 4.
Yes.
He's worth.
All right.
So
I think he just has
yeah,
to
you're
shoot
gonna-
back, and then we will be done. Sabine gets to try to get a finishing shot, but first Jonas will fire a primary back in to Luke, or can shoot at Sabine at range 3. Either way, range 3. So I feel like you got a good chance to kill either of them, especially not Luke with his health. But, well, nothing. Makes it easier. Sabine range 1 and a Vader. Chance to... Vader blinked out. To kill... He's on 1 hole right now. 2 hits. Vader dies. It takes 1 and goes down. Ouchie. Whether Vader lived on 1 hole or not, the game was still decided. That gets Frankie up to 22. The final score will be 24-13 once he gets the center point.